in 1955, there was this talented individual who stole home base in the World Series. He was a talented track star and football player from UCLA. Some of y'all might have heard his name before. But anyway, the guy he died the other day, not long ago, September, around there, guy Yogi Berra. I'll let y'all figure out who the player was that stole home. Does anybody know? Just making sure. I'm at Spelman, right? Who stole home in the 1955 World Series? Tanya, I know you know. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay. So anyway, Yogi Berra said, okay, this is the part where I engage you, all right? Okay. So Yogi Berra said, if you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you got there? Okay, all right. So that's what this talk is about addressing gaps. And then how do you measure? And then how do you know if it's successful or not? And my colleague from FIS, she has some good formative assessment data and outcomes. That's important. And my colleague, I was actually at 4201 Wilson Boulevard this year, last time in the Division of Undergraduate Education. And when I saw IHES, I was like, oh, I just remember the proposals. That's a lot of great stuff. So good luck, FISC. Okay, very good. That's good background data. So anyway, let me get into the talk. In 2000, I was at a conference at Pittsburgh. It was a workshop like this. They would teach us how to use Python. And I saw Python on your slide because it was a bioinformatics type work. And it was, I was learning Python and every time I hit the key, it was syntax error, right? And so anyway, over from Pittsburgh, they had students, very young, freshman-looking flip-flops, came over there and showed us professors how to do Python. And every time I call him over, I can't remember his name, and you're gonna see where this is going. He would say, "Oh no," he called me Dr. Goins. Syntax, your recursion, your if-then statement, and all this, and he was right every time. And so I said to him, and he looked like he was 15 years old. I said, "That is so neat that University of Pittsburgh was sending these computer scientists majors over here to help us old people out." And he looked at me all perplexed. And he said, "Sir, I'm a biology major." And I knew right then that these kids were in trouble because the way we were doing it, the way we were addressing and their trajectories they were on wasn't really going to be ready for the 21st century, okay? And so that's the purpose of this talk. So these are the kids now who are all in some kind of biomath careers who, these are biology majors. So what do they want to major in when they came to college?
Now go to medical school.
Thank you. Spelman, y'all got it together. Y'all like, that's not a problem here. Biology majors don't want to go to medical school, so that's good. So anyway, and now they're in careers like that. Okay, so the outline of my talk, a little thumbnail view of A&T, the situation and context of intergeneration, the 21st century STEM black box. Okay, just the IBLEN program. That you Google that, as Hong said. And again, the take-home message is addressing gaps and trajectories, and then some outcomes and take-home messages. So we're the largest HBCU in America, whatever that means. I think we took over that mantle for Florida A&M. So we have about 10,000, 11,000 students, and it's all about, you're talking about scales. It matters if you're going to collaborate, because collaboration and competition can work if they don't butt up against each other and you get conflict. But if they work at different scales, it keeps things moving around. So it all depends on, if you're talking about Spelman, and I see some Georgia Tech, Emory, it all depends on your Carnegie classification. Where do you want to take your students? Do you work together? Do you compete? It all depends on your model and your mission statement. How many people know the mission statement at Spelman? And, if I was at A&T, that's the same crowd, I'd be like, so it really, and I can tell the brain trust is in the back row back here. I already picked y'all out because y'all are asking some deep questions. So what do you want from me in the next, now I got 20 minutes. Do you want facts or you want the truth? Back row, I know, you all are faculty here, right? Or nearby? Yeah. Okay, they're gonna be like, leave it to me. Yeah, that's a dangerous thing. True. Okay, I'm a freshman at A&T. You know, we're 400 some acre campus here, and the day of life of a freshman. I mean, we're talking about all this interdisciplinary stuff that's good, but what? Little, you know, we're still under the tyranny of the credit hour. Exactly. And that, yeah. And so a freshman, you know, they'll learn about calculus and equations, and, you know, they'll see, go over here to English, you know, and learn about Geoffrey Chaucer, and chemistry, they'll learn, you know, something about a mole, and go over to engineering, and they get this, you know, some kind of physical phenomenon. But that's the way the freshmen see campuses, because that's the way we're structured. So that is great what Fisk is doing, and that's great what QBIO, what QSub is doing. NIBIOS, because it's got to fill the gaps, okay? So, because the students do not see it this way unless we're very intentional, like the people in this audience. So, like for instance, biology major is okay. All right. For biology, we have Lou Gross mentioned the college carrying capacity of some region or whatever, and then you know, they get a version of math because in the biology department it was all descriptive, and we only gave them a little small part of the curve and said, don't worry about it. That's the carrying capacity. Don't even, you know. But in physics, they'll say the maximal velocity. In chemistry, oh, it's a saturation point. And in math, they might say an asymptote, okay? So it's all of this stuff where at the end of the day, this came from here, okay? The math. You mentioned Haldane, okay? And I was 40-some years old. I realized why Michaelis-Menten had all these assumptions, because the ODEs would blow up. They just, in biology, they just say, don't worry, these are assumptions. State assumptions. Okay, and then I just go on and I just regurgitate, and then what? I teach students. What I do? I tell them, don't worry about it. You know, the problem is not the students, it's us. Okay, so it's good that we have these workshops together. All right, class. What these two images are similar and different at the same time. Let's go ahead and list how they're similar. 1 and 2. How are they similar?
4 pieces.
4 pieces. Different colors. Are the colors all the same on both?
She said same different colors.
Different, you know.
They all represent it. Okay. Anything else?
The connections.
Okay, you get a little deeper. Okay.
The connections are there, but they're not. Oh, I'll let the difference.
Okay, I won't, because my time is short. That was good. And how, you know, and how they're different. I'll fill it in. Is the connections you're getting in. But guess what? Here, everything's there. Okay, it's all there. Okay, can I need to go back to my picture of ANT? Everything we need is there. I can't claim like Fisk when we're small, and everything we're state supported. We're 1890 land grant. I mean, we're promised a certain amount of money, unlike the private schools, where, you know, we got a baseline from the, you know, the Moral Act, the Second Moral Act. So the deal is, how do we come together and work together in a collaborative fashion so that the whole, oh, that's right, it's one of these lit up screens, that's not gonna work. So how the whole works together in a unison, organized fashion, so that those students I showed you from A&T have a better chance at actually being competitive in the world marketplace of 21st century, okay? You mentioned about, what was the name of that company, Safe Bet? Remember your slide? Sure Bet. Okay, well, I was thinking for my population, well, what if my students didn't have the $100 or the $10,000 to invest? You know, that's the things that we deal with, because students don't come in without knowledge, okay? They just come in maybe without the language and the background. Did you know, Madam from NSF, in NSF, I learned this when I was there. Yeah. In this nation, it's much better. Your chances of graduating in 6 years are, what, 40 to 20% higher if you're born dumb and rich rather than smart and poor?
Yeah, I believe it.
That's a fact. Go look at the data. Look at you shaking your head. So I was like, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, because what happens why is that? I mean, there's a lot of, you know, you mentioned it too. We need to go to the psychological meetings, because really, you know, the whole the Curl Duet argument about grit. I mean, that's it's something to that. She's on to something, because what happens if you're from first generation and pieces aren't together like this, and you get criticized early on, and you might just drop out of school, okay? So anyway, I can tell already, I'm in trouble, huh? I'm talking too much. But, old world learning versus the new global marketplace. So, we talked about those pieces, okay? Okay, static world right now, the current situation, static world with small and negligible changes. U.S. dominance. I won't get into the political. Anyway, a college degree guarantees a job, okay? And learning on today is the best way to solve a problem, okay? Entitlement, okay? I don't know about your campus, but on our school, sometimes our students feel like, I emailed you, Dr. Goins, 15 seconds ago. You didn't respond. So, but anyway, but really, so the fixed mindset, the fixed discipline, where really the new global marketplace is about system integration. I'm just repeating what Dr. Voigt, yeah, he already repeated it. Everybody, persistence, you mentioned that. Synthesis, analysis, creative, preparing for jobs that don't even exist yet. Okay? And then ultimately, our world is increasingly changing rapidly, demographically and technically. Okay? Isn't it every baby born in the United States, but isn't it above 50% now every baby is not Caucasian? Or yeah. So globally competitive. Anyway, so you got my point. So the national situation, I set this up, so I don't want to belabor the point. A diverse includes, okay, a diverse, well-prepared and innovative workforce. It's good for our health and economy. But yet, we got a leaky whatever here, because 40% of students entering college intending to major in STEM, okay? So it's not good. So many STEM service and instruction courses do not use evidence-based instructional and co-curricular practices. So I would make sure if you're writing a grant, okay, or talking to NSF, make sure, because NSF publishes all kinds of stuff. I feel sorry for evaluators nowadays, because you can just get pamphlets and know pretty much what you're doing. I know it looks good on a grant to have, you got to pay an evaluator a lot of money. But the NSF publishes, along with IHES, they publish a lot of stuff that breaks it down. I like the common practices, describing and measuring, or it helps you talk to the evaluator, okay? Because usually, what we usually do, we just say, here's my objectives and some of the outcomes I want to have, and make me an evaluation. But it's much better if you have good give and take, so you can see how evidence can change things. And so here's the 2040 PhD, the ingenuities of Fred Douglass, the creativity of Garrett Morgan. Does anybody know Garrett Morgan? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Maybe y'all know. So, all right. So anyway, in curiosity and wonder of children. So the current situation, what does it mean to be the 21st century? Does anybody want to be so bold or raise their hand on that one? I'm gonna keep mine down. I'm glad if somebody can tell me what does it mean to be STEM educated 21st century? You have some awesome foresight and some awesome clarity, because I don't know if that's totally the jury is in on that one. I don't know. Okay, we all got our views now. We play this game and write proposals to say we're predicting what it's going to be. But ultimately, though, it comes down to being in the room, being on, I didn't know I was going to advertise in this. I guess I got a hangover from when I worked there. But it's like being in the room, being in those meetings they have out in Leesburg and other places around Arlington, to where they're talking to people in the field. There's always, what do you call those things? The talking head, and you can listen in. Yeah, when NSF is having talks about proposals and stuff. Yeah, the webinars. I'm getting a little rusty. Yeah, because in those webinars, they cover a lot that is not in the solicitation. The solicitation has been through lawyers, so you're not going to get a lot out of it. So anyway, I knew I was going to be a mathematician. This is my favorite quote from Charles Darwin. Okay, look, he was great, right? But he said, I deeply regretted that not proceed far enough, at least to understand something of the great leading principles of mathematics, okay? And what if Mendel Charles Darwin and Mendel ever got to talk, okay? And there's a lot of theories about that. He actually had some of it, because they're contemporaries, right? That Darwin might have had some of Mendel's writings on his shelf or something, but something they never, who knows, it's lost love to the dust of history, but that would have been amazing. You could text each other? Okay. So what it is, the way we learn biology, the way we show that disciplinary focus, campus of A&T, that's why students are in a black box. You know, they stay at the rote stage, and I learned a new word my wife used on me this morning called didactic. I thought that was pretty impressive. Okay, I married the right woman. Okay. The young guys in the back, you want to marry a woman that tells you something you don't know already. Okay. All right. So anyway, so what we're doing, okay, if the tail is a toy cat or a real cat, is we just want to put some clarity into the black box. Now, if you take that, no box, that's pure mathematics. I'm not smart enough to teach a student that, okay? But if you can have biomathematics, you can think of just looking inside to see how the mathematics is helping you predict and to be able to problem solve and hypothesis-driven type research. It helps. And it's cheaper too. You don't have to kill as many mice. Okay? And so some list of desirable skills, this probably came off the NSF website somewhere. Research a topic, but ultimately, y'all keep talking about the soft skills. Communicate, collaborate, listen, lead projects or help customers, organize, keep track of different information, develop new ideas, be able to ideate. NSF has something called the Ideas Labs. Okay? And those places is where some of the leading people in different areas, I mean, the geosciences, math, they had ideas, they had ideas labs where people went out in Leesburg and those hotels that IBM left over out there outside of Washington, and they got together and they did all these big sticky notepads where all the ideas were, and they go home and write proposals on that. Okay, but you got to get in the room or at least be in the webinar when this stuff is discussed. I'm not saying Spelman writes competitive proposals, but nobody said don't tell the truth. Okay, so anyway, so not all problems are created equal. Dr. Voigt talked about, he did really nice. I really enjoyed your talk, sir. Learning how to problem solve. See, it's all about, remember when that freshman from Pitt told me he was a biology major? Well, I was, we were teaching plug and chug, right? Everything in undergraduate classroom is built like this, nice, neat rows. It's well structured, known, and correct solutions. Okay, but really though, when you go, you get very unstructured and get very complex. Really, the real world is over here in authentic design problems. That's why I'm a big believer in make sure you get your students outside of Atlanta. Okay, my students, a lot of them first generation, and they don't understand. You mean I got to leave Greensboro? Wait a minute. Mom wants me to pick blueberries this summer, And so there's some softer side of mentoring there to really, you got to bring in the family. And so really, if you really want to look at designing for high impact practices, okay, where are you now? The Yogi Berra quote. What's your campus motivations, mission statements, your beliefs? Okay, and in what context? I'm gonna talk about that in a moment. Then you're gonna decide, do I spend on the sports team? Is my dean down with this? Okay, all right, time, money, and power. And then you measure, and what are the target teaching practices? What do you got after? I mean, that's really proposal writing 101 right there. Just fill in the gaps. So here it is. This is the key slide. Here's the key slide. Everybody wake up. Here's the key slide. Okay, so, and that's why I feel camaraderie about my friends in the back. I feel like you all, like me, are boots on the ground. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of the cauldron, okay? So the college of the department is right here. Now, I worked on this slide like 20 minutes, and hopefully this animation will work. So this is actually borrowed from Ann Austin's NRC Promoting Evidence-Based Change, if you want to go read all of it. But really, if you want to look at the concentric rings, a systems approach to understanding faculty members' decisions and relationships with students. Everybody, when you go, your colleagues are like, hey, Terry, I got this biomath project. Can you do this? Of course they're going to say yeah, because you're writing a grant and you might even get funded. They want to get some, but do they believe in terms of their institution and the external content? Because that's a lot of pressure on faculty with boots on the ground. First of all, what's going to affect what type of leadership you have? there's campuses where if you're an adjunct or you don't have tenure, it's like, oh, you wrote a proposal. You didn't consult me on it. Anyway, so work allocation, you teaching 3, 4, or 5 classes, okay? You're gonna gotta compete with somebody that's going to an ideas lab proposal? You're just gonna read the solicitation and write it? Okay, I didn't mean this turn into a proposal writing workshop, but it was right out of me. I apologize. Okay, so the reward system. Need I say more? Okay, professional development. What are we doing right now? Is this professional development? It is. I learned a lot this morning. Okay, all right. Then when you get out here, what type of scholarly associations may be your professional development? Like I have with Nimbus. Key part. Nimbus or NESCENT, the MBI Math Bio Institute, to name a few. John Junk and that BioQuest crowd. I'm trying to remember where BioQuest is going to be housed now. It moved.
Yeah, well,
Maryland? Okay. What's the name?
Texas.
Yeah, Kristen Jenkins. Sorry, y'all. Okay. She's like a sister. I can't remember. Okay, so the parents. This is one, if you're dealing with minority students, this Paul Tough. Does anybody read Paul Tough's? He talks about education in this country in the New York Times. He's an editorial writer. Paul Tough. He's got an article called "Who Gets to Graduate." You must read it. It's still online. "Who Gets to Graduate" by Paul Tough. It's a black female who goes to a Division I school. She's got good grades on the SAT, high school. She's got everything there. But because she came from a background that was not necessarily college education was in her pedigree, there's some things that happened that got her off track. And I really love that article. He encapsulated it so much. Paul Tough, Who Gets to Graduate. The employees. Does everyone at Spelman and NC Central and North Carolina A&T, do they understand what their purpose is in order to get students in terms of what you're trying to do in the classroom? The government, of course, what type of money we talk, the allocation, what Congress wants to do. And then the community, okay? The community-based stuff that we talked about earlier, getting the community involved, and the connections. And many other, I can just go on and on and on. When I saw that picture in NRC, I'm like, that's it. No wonder I feel tired at night, okay? Okay, so this is from the old CCLI. This is the way things work. This is the way, the cycle of educational practices, right? All right, so we're developing faculty expertise. We're trying to be explicit about the goals we want our students to learn, right? Having said it, we're not sure what 21st century scientists may look like. But anyway, we can make good guesses if we go to. But anyway, so from that, questions and ideas which lead to, you go implement innovation. This comes from the old course curriculum laboratory improvement slide, okay? Which then, how well did my innovations achieve the learning goals? That's what you call assessment, right? Then you gather the evidence, and then from that results in research on teaching and learning, which then answers and insights which might help improve results and evidence changes used to make changes, and then you got the new learning material. So it's just, okay? Maybe there's a different cycle that, I know at NSF this works well. Okay? And then the educational practice identifies and motivates going out getting more faculty expertise. Okay? So iBlend briefly, the hour is long. The goal of iBlend stands for, I think I got funded because of the acronym. There's an Integrative Biomathematics Learning and Empowerment Network for Diversity. We've been funded continuously since 2006. And the goal of it is to encourage, remember who gets to graduate, right? To encourage, enable, and support students to research at the interface of math and biology. So you need faculty members in that concentric ring that are in there with you with the concentric ring. If they're not in the middle of that concentric ring, be very wary of faculty who say they'll get involved, because it's not easy. Okay? Because of the tyranny of the credit hour. All right. And so really, this is really the way I look at it. When you got a student, I can take the x-axis. You really can come back over to birth, right? If you really want to be honest about it. But you know, the matriculation timeline essentially is your students with the structure of the community and all of the concentric ring factors. Are they highly competitive for graduate school? Okay, if you're not at a research one, I'm not at a research one. So if, not saying there's nothing wrong with my school, but hey, I didn't know how to do Python. I had somebody, a biology major, showing me how to do it. So I don't know. So how am I going to get my students from here to here when I can't? Who was the philosopher said the two most important things in this world are who are teaching our children and what are we teaching them?
Socrates.
Yeah, well, Socrates, thank you. Thank you.
It's true.
Yeah. So that's why it's great we have Cubes Hub and this type of, and I thank you, Han, for this workshop. Okay. How are we cheating? Changing how we do business, the concentric rings, engaging the students and faculty is number one catalyst to success at campus on all levels. We already talked about that. Everyone has to understand their part. Remember the employees? Everyone from the janitor, the guy that's picking up the trash, up to when you want to get your travel from ERN done on time rather than spend all your time on, wow, what is this? Is that a taxi cab? How'd you do that? And all this. Whereas you could be learning about an ordinary differential equation or something. So it's like we're guilty of our own success. So I look at it like this: working with administration, that's important. Align the research because look, it's the tyranny of the credit hour. You got to gore somebody's odds when you change curriculum. Somebody's not going to be happy. But guess what? When someone's not happy on campus, that's a success. Well, when everybody loves you, it means you're loving, doesn't it? Huh? Am I wrong? Lou has never ruffled any feathers at University of Tennessee, I'm sure. So yeah, it's not one piece that when someone says I've got the solution to the whole damn thing, I'm always like, yeah, right. I stopped believing people a long time ago. Okay? So, we're just talking undergraduate research when I stress here. That's just one brick that supports this continuum. Of course, we publish as one of those, if you want to get a copy and Thurgood Marshall type stuff. So, here, and so I also, faculty members, I'm going to talk to you. You got to be a well-rounded person. So I married a smart woman. And she, there she is right there. And then she's going to talk. What time's your talk? Tomorrow at the end? Okay, all right. Good. So stay on it. Hey, look. Y'all like that Campbell biology stuff, right? Here's one of the authors. Okay? I invited one of the authors in, one of the Pittsburgh, like I said. So in other words, be a few words at the front lines, right? You got to be at the front line. That's how it worked for me at A&T. This is at Howard Hughes when we were up there at the synthetic biology workshop. So yeah, we got all the letters and all the money, but it's got to be sustainable. Take away our UBM, take away LSM, take away Mark. How would I be doing then? Okay? You start asking about sustainability. I don't have all the questions about that. But if those concentric rings are lined up correctly, then I believe sustainability can happen. Where things are collaborating so that you don't get conflict. Okay? And graduate school represents new ground for most of our families on my campus. But go back to agriculture a little bit. Did you know when you're plowing new ground, even though it takes more energy, it's often lonely ground. Okay? But the new ground is where you get the highest yield of your crops. Ooh, okay. NSF says grow the workforce. Well, how is that possible when the same people are meeting in Leesburg? That's a rhetorical question.
It's the truth.
Okay, and so outcomes, undergraduate participation in independent research projects. This is kind of an old day of 20, but we saw a difference here. Okay, acceptance in the postgraduate programs, okay, shot up. But the take-home message is this. I'm about 2 minutes over, I do apologize. Collective faculty conceptualization and crafting of grant proposals. That's it, okay? Emphasis on faculty and student development, research, and pedagogy. Provision of common conference travel meetings, retreats, and meetings. Common. How many times, I don't know, at a big campus like mine, I'll show up at a meeting and I didn't know the physics professors were coming. That's crazy. Okay? Emphasis on freshman oriented at the first day, let them know that there's more than medical school. Yeah. Grandma thinks she's going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a doctor, grandma. That's not going to be the one to tell. What is a PhD? What is that? Okay. Distribution of shared nowadays, that's with the clouds, there's just no way that we should be, not sharing information. Broadening team college approaches and courses. So we heard a real good talk on that earlier. And then the seminars and, annual scientific, so the students can, if you can incentivize them, rather than going watching Young and the Restless, maybe provide a little food or something and let them hear the language of the kings. What were the language? Carrying capacity, asymptote, saturation, and next thing you know, they're using these words. So the must-haves in my last slide. Long-term student involvement. You guys got to be sustainable. To innovate. Okay. Immersion, intense involvement. Mutual reinforcement. You need the consensual rings between classroom and research. And then mentoring from invested faculty from all of the disciplines. Okay, anything quantitative, I want to know about it on my campus because there's a chicken in every pot when it comes to quantitation. And then the pot doesn't cost as much when you're messing with numbers versus mice. So anyway, I thank you all. Spelman and QBIO and the IHES community. It's really a pleasure. So thank you. About 2 minutes over. Okay. All right.
One question?
Nope. Too late.
Yeah, it's basically a comment on teaching math, biology majors. And I've been talking to my colleagues at Morehouse to try to expand what they talk about math education. My lab assistants, because of the nature of my work, are biology and psychology majors from Morehouse and Spelman. But do research, and I said, we need to do a t-test or analysis of errors. My psych majors know exactly what I'm talking about.
They all talk.
Biology majors look at me like I'm talking Greek.
Yeah.
And I have to sit there with them, and spend time. And when I talk to my biology faculty, they say, well, they got enough already to do. I mean, it's a battle. So I'm talking to the other biology faculty. I think it's extremely important when you're talking about training biology people to go beyond. Campus is important.
Yeah.
Statistics is important. So that's
the Paul's Health article, the student failed the test, and she called home sad for her mother's a single mother, happy single mother. You know what her mother told her? Well, Tanisha, maybe you shouldn't be at that school. Essentially, that means maybe you ought to think about you're not good enough for that job. I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay. Yes.
I wanted to make a quick comment first. Thank you for that really excellent talk.
Oh, thank you.
Every minute of it.
I'm your friend for life.